is surrounded by plastic, filling the landfills to the brim, and only 8% of it being recycled, and harming innocent marine animals. It makes unhealthy jobs for poor people, slowly killing them. This is a big problem. We are the sustainables, and we are going to help solve this problem.
Plastic waste is a big problem, and we need solutions.
Plastic waste is filling the landfills very quickly and accounts for almost 25% of junk in landfills. Most of this plastic waste, however, is plastic bags and plastic bottles. Bottled water is an $11 billion industry with no decline in sight. The U.S. alone uses enough plastic water bottles to wrap around the earth 167 times in the period of a year. While tap water is more healthy, with bottled water having many health consequences.
Plastic waste is often dumped into the ocean to get rid of it, but in reality, it is accumulating in 5 main gyres throughout the globe. The gyres are parts of oceans that just swirl around, full of plastic. The plastic is beginning to appear almost everywhere, and more marine animals are washing up on beaches because they digest it and get sick. Also, many animals are getting tangled and caught in all the plastic, and they can't get out unless animal rescue teams come and save them.
The United States is the main source of this plastic dilemma, producing more than 90% of the globe's plastic waste. After production, the U.S. ships this waste to other lower-class countries as a personal storage facility. The residents of those third-world countries acquire jobs sorting by color and weight. These practices have not been productive, and they are also very harmful, as people sometimes use the burn and sniff technique to sort the plastic. Also, the toxins produced off the plastics are trapped inside small indoor rooms called sorting rooms. This causes many of the employees working at the sorting rooms to have illnesses and diseases because of the plastics, but they might not even realize that they are sick.
In 1980 to 2000, the plastic usage in the U.S. grew 5 times. Plastics are made out of non-sustainable materials and releases deadly toxins into the air. Many plastics can only be used once. 80% of the bottles we use end up in landfills. Animals eat a lot of the plastics. One plastic bottle that is recycled saves as much energy as needed to power one 60 watt bulb for about 6 hours. Recycling a plastic bottle also saves 2/3 of the energy when compared to manufacturing a plastic bottle.
Plastics used to not be as a bigger problem as it is now. In the mid-1900s, the new throwaway lifestyle was introduced, and people began to use plastics as a substitution for more sustainable products. Instead of recycling the plastic, they just threw it away, which is basically what is happening today in society, just on a much smaller scale. Studies show that today, only 8% of plastic that we use is actually recycled. The rest is thrown away into landfills, where the plastics will never biodegrade.
Russia, which is number 2 in plastic waste production, produces close to 200 million tons of plastic waste per year. As of the year 2000, Russia had produced 207.4 tons of plastic. It's increased greatly by the growth of middle class and capitalist society.
Japan, the 3rd largest producer in plastic waste, is trying to restart recycling plastics. After the plastic production and usage of plastics, the plastics are sorted into domestic and industrial waste, which is recycled and disposed in 5 different ways. Mechanical recycling, which takes up 21% of it, feedstock recycling, 3%, incineration with energy recovery, 48%, incineration without energy recovery, 15%, and putting it into landfills, 13%. 70.3% of the domestic waste comes from containers and packaging, and 19.7% comes from household objects. However, for industrial waste that is produced, 24.2% of plastics are from electronics and machinery. 23.2% are from container and packages, and 18% of the industrial plastics are from the production and processing of waste itself.
The United States is the biggest producer, producing around 95% of the world's plastic waste. The top 5 plastic waste producing countries make a total of 600 million tons of plastic waste. The 5 countries that produce the most plastic waste are the United States, Russia, Japan, Germany, and the UK.
Germany, number 4, produces many less tons at 48 million. Germans, however, produce 1/3 the amount of trash Americans do.
And finally, the UK, at number 5, producing 34 million tons of plastic waste. With 60 million people, they are doing a considerable amount better than the United States.